Have you ever looked at a male cat and wondered if there's more going on behind those eyes than just a desire for treats and naps? If you think all cats are created equal, think again. Male cats, often affectionately called toms when they are intact, or just big lovable goofballs when they're neutered, possess a distinct set of biological and behavioral traits that set them apart from their female counterparts. Today, I am diving deep into the world of the male feline. From their genetic quirks to their surprising social habits, we are going to uncover the secrets of the boy cats in your life. The orange cat phenomenon. Let's start with something you might have noticed if you've ever visited a shelter or a cat cafe. If you see an orange tabby cat, there is a very, very high chance that it's a male. In fact, up to 80% of all orange tabby cats are male. But why is this? Is it magic? No, it's actually a fascinating lesson in genetics. The gene that determines the orange coat color is located on the X chromosome. Since males generally have one X and one Y chromosome, they only need that single orange gene on their one X chromosome to become a ginger cat. Females, on the other hand, have two X chromosomes. For a female to be orange, she needs the orange gene on both of her X chromosomes. That makes orange females statistically much rarer. So the next time you see a Garfield look-alike, you can safely bet the farm that it's a boy. The mystery of the jowls. Have you ever seen an unneutered male cat, perhaps a stray in your neighborhood, and noticed he has a surprisingly large, round face? It almost looks like he's wearing a puffy mask or has swollen cheeks. These are actually called stud jowls, and they serve a very specific biological purpose. These thick, fleshy cheeks develop due to testosterone. In the wild, or on the streets, male cats get into fights over territory and mates. These heavy jowls act as natural armor, protecting the cat's face and neck during scuffles with other males. It's essentially a built-in shield. If you neuter a male before he reaches sexual maturity, he will likely never develop these jowls. But if he's neutered later in life, he might keep that tough guy look forever. Are males actually friendlier? There is a long-standing debate in the cat community about which gender is more affectionate. While personality varies wildly from cat to cat, a surprising amount of anecdotal evidence and veterinarian surveys suggest that male cats might actually be the more affectionate of the sexes. Many owners report that while female cats can be more independent, aloof, or queen-like, male cats often act more like eternal kittens. They are frequently described as more lap-oriented, more tolerant of being handled, and generally more eager to bond with their humans. Some behaviorists theorize that because female cats are wired with a biological instinct to protect kittens, even if they never have them, they remain more cautious and on high alert. Male cats, lacking that specific maternal instinct, may feel freer to relax and just enjoy the cuddles. The left-paw preference. Here is a fact that is truly bizarre and specific. Did you know that cats can be right-handed or left-handed? Or rather, right-pawed or left-pawed? Researchers from Queen's University in Belfast conducted a study on lateralization in cats, essentially which side of their body they prefer to use for complex tasks like fishing a treat out of a jar. The results were fascinating. The study found a distinct gender split. Female cats were significantly more likely to be right-pawed, while male cats showed a strong preference for using their left paw. This is linked to the way male and female brains are wired differently. So try a test at home later. Put a treat under a cup and see which paw your male cat uses to bat it out. Chances are he's a lefty. The roaming instinct. If you have an indoor male cat, you might notice he spends a lot of time staring out the window, perhaps with a bit more intensity than a female might. This is rooted in the deep biological drive of the male cat to patrol and expand his territory. In the wild, a female cat's territory is usually just large enough to provide food for her and her potential kittens. But a male cat's territory is vast, often 10 times larger than a female's. An intact male tom will roam miles every single day to mark his boundaries and look for mates. Even neutered males often retain a bit of this patrol instinct, meticulously checking the perimeter of your house or apartment to ensure no intruders have breached the castle walls. The truth about spraying. This is the topic that scares many potential cat owners away from getting a male, the dreaded spraying. It's true that unneutered male cats have a powerful drive to mark their territory with urine. This isn't a bathroom accident, it's a communication signal. It tells other cats, I am here, this is mine, and I am available. However, the surprising fact here is how effectively modern veterinary medicine handles this. If a male cat is neutered before he reaches sexual maturity, usually around 5 or 6 months of age, he will almost certainly never start spraying. The behavior is hormonal. Remove the testosterone and you remove the urge to turn your curtains into a message board. It's a common misconception that all male cats spray. In reality, a neutered house cat is just as clean as a female. The roughhousing dynamic. If you have a multi-cat household, you might have noticed that the male cats play differently than the females. Male kittens and adults often engage in what we call social fighting or rough and tumble play. They enjoy wrestling, pouncing, and body slamming each other. This isn't aggression, it's a bonding activity. For male cats, wrestling is a way to test boundaries and build social cohesion. Female cats certainly play, but they often prefer object play, chasing a laser or batting a ball rather than full contact wrestling. If you see your male cat pinning another cat down, don't panic immediately. Check their ears and tails. If there's no hissing and the ears are forward, the boys are just being boys. The life expectancy gap. Here's a serious fact that every male cat owner needs to know. Historically, male cats have had a shorter life expectancy than female cats. In the wild, this is due to fighting and roaming, but even indoors, there's a health reason for this gap. Male cats are significantly more prone to urinary tract blockages than females. Because their urethra is longer and narrower, it can easily become blocked by crystals or stones. This is a life-threatening emergency that can happen very quickly. This biological quirk means male cat owners need to be extra vigilant about hydration. Feeding wet food and ensuring plenty of water access is crucial for the boys. The good news? With proper diet and indoor living, the life expectancy gap has narrowed significantly, and many male cats now live into their late teens or early 20s. They are foodies. While any cat can be motivated by food, male cats often display a higher drive for eating than females. This can be a blessing and a curse. On the positive side, it makes them much easier to train. You can teach a food-motivated male cat to high-five, sit, or even come when called, much like a dog, simply by using treats. On the downside, this foodie nature puts male cats at a higher risk for obesity. The fat cat stereotype is often male for a reason. Because they don't have the calorie-burning stress of the mating cycle once they're neutered, and they love to eat, they can pack on the pounds quickly. Keeping a male cat sleek requires a bit more discipline from the human side of the equation. The vocal range. We discussed the tom cheeks, but what about the tom voice? Unneutered male cats have a specific vocalization known as caterwauling. It is a low, guttural, moaning yowl that sounds almost human and quite terrifying if you hear it in the middle of the night. This sound is specifically designed to carry over long distances to intimidate rivals and attract females. Even neutered males can sometimes let out a variation of this sound if they see a strange cat outside the window. Generally speaking, however, once neutered, male cats tend to be slightly more vocal and chatty with their owners than females, often using a variety of chirps and trills to get your attention. Fatherhood instincts, or lack thereof. In the lion kingdom, the male lion plays a role in protecting the pride, but what about the domestic house cat? Generally, male cats are not wired for fatherhood. In the wild, toms do not help raise kittens. In fact, they can sometimes be a danger to kittens that aren't theirs. However, the surprising part comes in the domestic setting. There have been many documented cases of neutered male cats taking on a nanny role with new kittens brought into the home. Without the drive to eliminate rivals, their play instinct takes over. Many owners find that their big 15-pound male cat becomes the perfect jungle gym and grooming partner for a tiny new kitten. They can be surprisingly gentle giants when the testosterone is out of the equation. Size matters. It is a general rule in the animal kingdom that males are larger, but the difference in domestic cats can be quite striking. On average, a male cat will weigh 2 to 4 pounds more than a female of the same breed. This size difference is primarily muscle mass. Even a lazy indoor male cat has a denser muscle structure than a female. If you pick up a female cat and then immediately pick up a male cat, the male often feels more solid or dense. This extra weight and power is why when they do get the zoomies at 3 a.m., it sounds like a herd of elephants is running across your roof. The Calico Exception. We talked about how most orange cats are male. Now let's flip the script. If you see a calico or tortoiseshell cat, those are the ones with black, orange, and white patches, it is almost guaranteed to be female. But there is a miracle exception. Approximately 1 in 3,000 calico cats is male. This happens due to a genetic anomaly called Klinefelter syndrome, where the male cat has an extra X chromosome, XXY. These male calicos are the unicorns of the cat world. They are almost always sterile, meaning they cannot father kittens, but they are incredibly special. If you ever meet a male calico, you are meeting a living, breathing statistical improbability. The Whisker fatigue factor. Because male cats tend to be larger, they also tend to have larger, broader faces. This leads to longer whiskers. Whiskers are not just hairs, they are highly sensitive touch receptors embedded deep in the nervous system. This makes male cats slightly more susceptible to something called whisker fatigue. If you feed your male cat out of a deep, narrow bowl, his sensitive whiskers constantly brush against the sides. This causes sensory overload and stress. If your male cat paws food out of the bowl to eat it off the floor, he isn't being messy, he's telling you his whiskers hurt. Switching to a wide, flat plate is often a simple fix that makes a world of difference for the big boys. Social intelligence. We often think of dogs as the social geniuses of the pet world, but male cats have a unique type of social intelligence. Because they are wired to roam and encounter strangers, both friendly and hostile, more often than females in nature, they are often more adaptable to change. When you move to a new house or introduce a new person to the family, the male cat is often the first to investigate and the first to settle down. Females, who are evolutionarily wired to protect a safe, static nest, often struggle more with environmental changes. The male's explorer mindset makes him a bit more resilient to the chaos of modern human life. The making biscuits trait. Kneading, or making biscuits, is a behavior seen in all cats, stemming from kittenhood when they kneaded their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. However, many behaviorists observe that male cats tend to carry this behavior into adulthood with more intensity than females. Often, a male cat will combine kneading with suckling on a soft blanket or even your sweater. This behavior is a sign of extreme comfort and regression to a kitten-like state. Since, as we discussed earlier, male cats often remain eternal kittens mentally, this soothing ritual is a permanent fixture in their routine. It's the ultimate compliment. He sees you as his safety blanket. The cooling down period. If a male cat does get into a fight or gets frightened, his recovery time is different. Because of the adrenaline and testosterone, even in trace amounts in neutered males, a male cat's fight or flight response is potent. If your male cat sees a rival outside and gets agitated, a phenomenon called redirected aggression, it can take him hours to physically calm down. His body is built for burst energy in combat. It's important to know this because trying to soothe an agitated male cat too quickly can result in a bite. He's not mad at you. His biology is just on a slow simmer. Giving him space is the best kindness you can offer. A final thought on the bond. At the end of the day, every cat is an individual. You will find grumpy males and affectionate females, but understanding the biology and tendencies of the male cat helps us appreciate them more. They are a mix of toughness and tenderness, built for battle, but evolved to be the ultimate lap companions. Whether you have a giant lazy orange tabby or a sleek energetic black cat, the boys bring a special energy to our lives. They are our little lions, our shadows, and our best friends. So, the next time your male cat headbutts you with those big tom cheeks, remember, it's not just affection, it's a biological sign that you are part of his territory, and he's proud to claim you.